friends of Habitas, and happy 2025. Happy New Year. We're very excited, especially now. No? For the past year, we've done a lot of improvements, developments, and we've done our construction faster than it should be. See? And we didn't even wait for sales to come in. We have been moving very fast just to prove to the market that we can do it. Anyway, I just want to share with you a lot of some ideas on how to handle some very expected objections. Why? Because this has been a problem para dun sa mga sellers natin. You see, they get a lot of traction. They get a lot of attraction when they do ads boosting or they're offering it to their clients. However, they are not prepared to answer because they don't invest in time in training or learning more about the project and the properties. So, one very common objection and 100% na lumalabas is yung Taal volcano. Okay? So, what if pumutok yan? What if mag-erupt yan? What will happen pag nag-erupt yan? We have even some comments na parang kala mo doomsday, kala mo end of the world pag nag-erupt yung Taal. No? You see, the thing is, how do you respond to that without, it's not handling objection, actually. It is just making them realize, because handling objection is a technique, but this is explaining to them and making them realize that there is absolutely nothing to worry about. You see, 100% of our investors, 100%, all of them, all of those who have bought from us, from the 3 clusters and from the new buyers of Hills, all of them, no exception, nagtanong ng what if si Taal erupts. In fact, it's not only them. Mamaya, I'll show you all these big mansions that are being built behind us dito sa Tagaytay, Midlands, Highlands, and all of these projects that you see around, especially also in Tagaytay, had the same concerns. However, when they realize na wala naman palang dapat ikabahala, most especially if your buyers are investing to make this an active yielding asset. They are not going to stay here. But the most important thing for them is, will this make money for them? It's an active yielding asset. They will not be here. They will not be here. But this is a place which is very attractive, very appealing, and very it's high in demand, especially when it comes to Airbnb, for vacation, for short-term rentals, for rental income. That is what's important. Anyway, pag nakita naman nila yung project, they're getting more or a super value for the amount that they will be investing. To start off, una, do you know that it is even safer, literally safer, to even live here, stay here, than in Metro Manila? I don't want to scare people, but then it's not me saying, but the experts have talked about, and the newspapers have places in the headlines about the big one. You've heard of the big one, diba? We're expect nila about the 7.2 or an 8 magnitude 8 earthquake. Where is that? The West Valley Fault. Also the Marikina Valley Fault, which starts off all the way from Bulacan to Santa Rosa. Doon sa may gate sa may isang village doon sa Santa Rosa. No? But then dito wala tayong fault dito. No? Now, the thing is that before, I've been selling condominiums since 36 years ago, and that was the main the main objection before, the main fear of people before. Paano pag nag-earthquake? But then, they realized that they just have to live with it. Even if earthquake is the only, one of the few calamities that are really unpredictable. You don't know when it will strike. Maybe, buti pa yung mga animals and insects, they know. But only a few seconds before, no? Only a few seconds before. Now, unlike volcanoes, most of the eruptions have warnings. Ang warning sila nagpapakita weeks before, days before, or at least hours before. Wala pa naman yung bigla na lang nag-erupt. Especially, one of the most monitored volcanoes in the Philippines is Taal. Why? It is one of the most active volcanoes. But active, okay, let me define active. Active means it has been erupting. In fact, if you want to be very technical about it, since the recorded eruptions in 1520 up to now, so more than 400 years, so it has been erupting. It has erupted about 36 times. 36 times. But then, out of those eruptions, only about 6 are from VEI 4 to 6. VEI is the Volcanic Explosion Index, which means ito yung nagme-measure kung gaano kadami yung nilabas niya and gaano kataas yung height ng plumes. So, at 4, I think it's 14 kilometers high, and above 16, that's VI 6. Ilang beses nangyari yun for the 6 times. The last one na inabutan ng most of you was in January 12, 2020, just before the pandemic. And before that, one of the strongest was in September 28, 1965. And that was the day I was born. Kaya tawag sa anak ng bulkan nga. And before that was in about 1724. So, but you see the gaps are about, has an average of about 60 to 80 years. And the pattern, according to the experts, magbibigay ng malaking pagsabog, and then within 24 months, maybe VI 4 or 6, and then within 24 months, you will have another VI 3 or something. And then after that, quiet na naman siya. Quiet na naman siya for about 60, 70 years. That's the pattern. That has been the pattern. And when you say an eruption, let's define it again. An eruption of alert level of 1 and an eruption of 6 is still called an eruption. But then, most newspapers exaggerate this. Exaggerate. An eruption, of course, especially now, pag kinose up mo, zoom mo, nilagyan mo ng in-slow-mo mo, and then nilagyan mo ng background music na nakakatakot, then it creates fear. That video, about a month ago, became viral with about 8 million views in less than a day. Kasi nakakatakot. Creating fear. It was alert level 1. You see people here, hinihila na nga yung mga tao dito, even at alert level 3. Because the people who have lived here knows kung ano yung pattern nung sa volcano. See, and the thing is that even if it, let's say, they feel that there's going to be a big eruption, there's a warning. And do you know how long it takes from here to Alabang? Less than an hour. So in 55 minutes, you're there in Alabang, or you're far. What about in an earthquake? How much time do you have? It occurs in seconds. Huge damage can happen in seconds. And where do you think you will be when there's a big earthquake? Even if you're not living in a condo. Even if nasa bahay ka. Are your structures, ang sabi ng experts, about 40% of structures in Metro Manila would be heavily damaged. It's not me, since I'm not trying to create fear. I'm just trying to compare things and make people realize na Look, these are things that we have to live with. But the thing is that here, with the structure, with the design that we have, if there will be an earthquake, if there's an earthquake, you are out of your house in less than 30 seconds. The door's there, the pool's on the other side. You're outside in 30 seconds. You're in a safe place. You're in an open space in 30 seconds, even if you're at the loft. Okay, so, and there's nothing huge or several floors to fall under you. People don't realize that. And another thing, you see, yes, there will be earthquakes. Yes, there will be possible eruptions. We don't know when. Right? But look, which ones are the most popular places in the US? You still have California, you still have New York, who are both also expecting the big one. The hurricanes in Florida is there every single year. But why is it one of the most popular places? And also, people even invest there. Japan, we always go to Japan, and it's an ordinary thing for them. Why are they still building buildings or big condominiums or big office towers? We just have to live with it. See, but now, if you are offering this to investors, the important thing for them is, one, will it make money for them? Are they getting the real value for their money? See, imagine, for the price of a studio unit in Manila, which is now experiencing an oversupply, I'll talk about it later, which is now experiencing an oversupply. For the price of a studio without even parking, they are getting a resort-style residential villa with almost 100 square meters in floor area and about 110, 120 square meters in floor area, with a private plunge pool, a jet pool at that, first-class finishings, high-end finishings, 2 parking slots for that price, which they can rent out on a daily basis. And the good thing about this is that we don't have thousands of units. We don't have thousands of units in the same complex. We don't have hundreds of units in the same building. See? So, and that's the thing there. You might have leisure projects, but then if you have thousands of units to compete with, when you are unloading, when you are renting out, how can you command the price? That is the potential of this one. And if you explain this to your clients, the problem is they get attracted to your ads, and then you bring them here, and then they get excited. Very good. And then if they don't decide here, most of the buyers will always want to validate their decision, and nothing wrong with that. But the problem is, when they go back home, pag uwi nila ng bahay or party, of course, they will throw this idea to their clients, to their friends, who have not been here, who have not listened to your explanation, because you don't know how to explain it to them. You don't know the facts. You did not research. So, hindi rin alam ng clients. And since you have not armed them with this explanation, with this reason, defenseless sila when they get back, and then their friends or relatives, maybe with good intentions, will say, oh, ba't ka mag-invest doon? Sasabog yan. Paano ko sumabog yung vulkan? And, oo nga, no? See, why? Because you did not explain to them. So if you do not want to lose your sales, if you do not want to waste your investments in boosting, in advertising, in bringing clients here, I guess you must really do your research, or just remember what I told to you in the past few minutes. Okay? So I hope you learned something today. And We only have, what, less than 30 units to finish off. Let's finish this before March. Okay? Bye-bye. Thank you. Happy selling.